Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the today's webinar on this critical topic of BRO and instrument of nation building and military diplomacy. Are you able to hear me all?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can hear you.
We have amongst us several dignitaries. And before we get to the proceeding, we'd like to highlight that we will have the question answer session. I know that there'll be a lot of queries. In the end, after the keynote speaker completes his speech, I will also request everybody to keep their microphone mute and only unmute when they are speaking. And the entire proceeding will be recorded because we will be preparing a YouTube, which will be hosted on our website just for record. And I have received a lot of queries from the concerned offices, and I requested them to participate, or I'll be sending them the YouTube. They'll take a serious consideration of our recommendations, what we'll be making through this particular forum today. At the outset, I welcome General Rajeev Chaudhry, VSM, ex-DG BRO, the keynote speaker for the today. I also welcome veterans, what I can see at Vice Admiral Gormade, DG Sanjos, General Ashok. We have Mr. Balbir Kumar Munjal. We have Mr. Balbhadra, Mr. Bhushan, and several others are there. And my ex-boss, Mr. Vinod Singh, is also there. We have amongst us the veterans, of course, the past and present bureaucrats also. We have ex and the present police officers also in this webinar, academicians, students, ladies and gentlemen. To begin with, I'll just brief about the SAPI, the Startup Think Tank Security and Policy Initiative. It had the blessings of the then ex-president, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, my earlier boss and mentor. This particular think tank has been mentored by a few dignitaries and a lot of veterans. Prominent among them is Mr. Shekhar Dutt, ex-defense secretary and ex-governor. He was also deputy NSA. Mr. Arvind Gupta, currently director VIF, Vivekananda International Foundation, and ex-DG IDSA and ex-deputy NSA. He has worked in border management quite a lot. Then Dr. Sivithanu Pillai, distinguished scientist of DRDO and the founder CEO of the BrahMos Missile Corporation. Professor Bimal Roy, very prominent cryptologist and ex-chairman of the National Statistical Commission, as well as ex-director Indian Statistical Institute. Amongst the veterans who supported this idea and had been a constant source of encouragement are General Bhatia, ex-DGMO. Of course, Major General Ashok Kumar is there with us. We had General Kulkarni, ex-DG Infantry, and several others. General Matharu, of course, he's the key person and still keep on supporting us in this. SAPI works in the area of defense transfer technology, improvement of border management. It also works in public policy and some interventions in art and culture. Our activities include basically webinars, articles, blogs, participating in discussions, etc., and also conducting webinars. Webinars we have done on several topics, and our complete video album is there on our website. Roughly 10 to 12 webinars we have held on critical topics till today. We have recently been awarded the legal status, and very shortly we'll be coming in physical space too. We'll be in very short time, we'll be doing the research, training, study, generating ideas, as well as suggesting the policy for formulation drafts also. Coming to the today's topic, that why we have chosen this BRO as a topic. Lot of inquisitiveness is there about the line of actual control, especially the China border. And the major issue there is the infrastructure creation. Our brave soldiers always brave that inhospitable climate as well as terrain. That border infrastructure is beset with several issues, which we'll be tackling. We'll be discussing in this today's webinar. If the infrastructure is there properly, then it will be a certainly multiplying factor, and in the negotiations with the powers across the board, across the border. In this today's webinar, SAPI will like to elicit the views and opinion of the distinguished audience in the today webinar, and would request them certain ideas if they can share. If they don't get the opportunity today, at least they can write in the chat box of our website, and we'll take note of it and prepare a brief and then submit to the government. Any development on the Indo-China border is watched very closely and followed by the entire nation. This particular border draws no other border drawing so much of attention. Adding perspective to the China border, I'd like to mention certain things, that this particular border is undemarcated, not delineated, and not ratified. Therefore, there we experience the transgressions and the skirmishes. And the bottom line is that we have a perception of our own border on the China side, and we'll do our utmost, and we have been doing, to defend each and every inch of that territory. So that is why the infrastructure is very, very essential to be constructed on this particular critical border. For the better understanding, we have divided the Indo-China border in 3 parts. The eastern sector consisting of Tawan, Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim. The middle sector is of Uttarakhand and the Himachal Pradesh, and the western sector is of Ladakh, Leh, and Kashmir. Though we have boundary issues in every, but then major ones are in the eastern and the western sector. There are connectivity issues because of the mountainous terrain, and of course the weather is, as I mentioned, is inhospitable, and it impacts the quick deployment of our armed forces or the patrol forces in the entire 3,488 kilometers of China border. To deal with the infrastructure issues, long ago, earlier of this century, around 2003-04, the Indo-China border road was conceived, and phase 1 started in 2006, and it is almost complete, or rather it is complete, and the phase 2 has already started, and in the middle of its execution. General Saab will deliberate on all these things. If the infrastructure is there, then the other side will also not try to get into misadventures with us, because they will see everywhere our soldiers present. It will add certainly strength to our negotiations, because I myself had been, as JS border manager, part of so many negotiations with the other side there. In the infrastructure creation, we have issue of the limited window of the time, because period of the year, April to September is the only working time. That too, sometimes landslides happen, sometimes other issues come. So we get very small window to complete the work. Besides this, there are some necessary procedural steps to be taken up, like forest clearances, land acquisition, financial approvals, etc. These take time, and it all adds to the complexity of the execution of the border projects. We are witnessing the issue of thinning of population along the border. Thinning of population means the people who are staying, residing in the heights above 6,000–7,000 feet, even up to 15,000 feet. They are trying to migrate, because these villages are very sparsely populated, and development is taking time to reach there. Certainly infrastructure is required, which the BRO is and other organizations are doing it. It takes time, so people leave their homes there and come to the lower heights, so they can avail the better facilities. So this is one, because these people at the higher heights are our eyes and ears. They keep watch who is coming from the other side, and they share the information. So this is very, very important. If you see the stages in the construction of the border infrastructure, say for roads, we have the issues. We decide first the alignment of the road, then we do the formation cutting, then we do the road formation and blacktopping, etc. And then there are a lot of peripheral work. So all these terminologies will be discussed by General Saab in the presentation. Now, BRO had been at the center of everything. This is the only organization in the country which has the complete wherewithal and capabilities to plan, execute, and maintain these infrastructure. There is no other organization matching this capability of the BRO. And it's a very, very onerous task that they are doing for this country. General Chaudhry, he had been at the helm of the affairs of the BRO, and I like to say a few words about him before giving stage to him. He was commissioned in December 1983 in the Corps of Engineers. He had been an accomplished engineer and had done the planning for the strategic command post. I have handled this particular subject in early this century, and I know the importance of it. Very, very critical thing. He has academic achievements too. He is MTech in structural engineering from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, besides alumni of the prestigious National Defence College. He took over as DG Border Roads in December 2020. Under him, under his stewardship, I would say that a lot of achievements have been there with the BRO. World highest motorable road at Umlingla at 19,300 feet he has done. Construction of the first indigenous double-lane modular bridge of class 70. He has dedicated 300 projects, roughly 295 in his 3 years tenure, which is itself almost 100 projects a year, which is big achievement. Under his leadership, BRO has achieved a major milestone, is that their budget increased 160%. I have dealt with border management, and I was also dealing with the approval of the projects, and I know it's very, very difficult to get so much increase. Unless you deliver, you cannot do it. So the delivery must have happened and must have impressed the decision makers, which has resulted in this huge increase in the budget of BRO. And now BRO is carrying forward where he has completed task. Another thing, he set up the 2 centers of excellence, one for the road safety and one for the construction technologies for the road, bridges, airfield, tunnels. This is still working. Under him, a lot of initiative he has taken. One about the construction technologies, new technologies he will elaborate, which he has introduced in BRO, and also upgrading the skills, which is very essential to match the latest development. And in his tenure, he has constructed several tunnels, roughly 10 tunnels, of which 3 are complete and 8 or 7 are under completion. The number is very drastic increase, because earlier to him, in past 60 years, we had been able to complete only 3 tunnels. So this is what you can just imagine, that what a transformation he has made. A lot of efforts he has made in introducing transparency in BRO. Because of GEM, he leveraged that complete thing, and GEM has awarded the gold certification to BRO for timely payment, and silver certification for order value. Huge amount of order he will share about through GEM he has executed. Another major improvement he has done in BRO is of the casual paid laborers who come from Jharkhand and other plain areas, and they go to work in the higher reaches. So he has introduced the insurance scheme, living standards, and he'll share everything. Besides, he has empowered the women officers of his organization, and those women officers have been given command post also in the very, very tough locations and posting. He has tried. He has also been awarded profusely because of his work. The prominent is the award of Construction World Global Person of the Year 2021. First Army officers to get this award. He was also given the Construction Industry Development Council Vishwakarma Achievement Award 2022 from the government and the public sector. Then he was awarded by Institution of Engineers as an Eminent Engineer of the Year award. And then BRO under his leadership was given the Infrastructure Focus Award 2023 for category Most Admired Central Government Department. Now, without taking much time, I'll request General Saab to take on the stage and deliver his talk today. And after his talk, we'll have the question answers. Over to you, General Saab.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I convey my greetings to all the veterans, brothers and sisters, my colleagues, and everyone who has joined this webinar. And I would like to convey my gratitude to Mr. Pradeep Gupta, who is the founder of SAPI, Dr. Sangeeta Goyal, Mr. Sarang, and Mr. Alok Tiwari for inviting me to this webinar to share my experiences with BRO. Shri Pradeep has been in all the appointments which gave him that kind of a very big exposure to the things what happens. He has been PS to the president. He has also been PS to the defense minister, PS to finance minister, PS to minister of external affairs. He has been in the defense ministry to see the indigenization, and above all, he has been the joint secretary border management in Ministry of Home Affairs. And I met him on 20th January. I distinctly remember, of 2023, along with Major General Ashok, who is also connected. I'm very thankful to him to connect. And we shared a lot of things on border management, and he has seen things in a different time. And when he saw things moving differently, he encouraged. And I would like to convey my thanks to Air Marshal Gokhale, who has joined from CAS, and Admiral Ghormade, who is my course mate, and Commodore Balbir Munjal, and everyone else. I don't know who all have joined, but my sincerest thanks to everyone. And it will give me a lot of encouragement to share the experiences of my Karam Yogis who have worked relentlessly on the heights people have never imagined. In fact, this flag, what you see on the slide, this is the highest flag in the world, which flies 24/7, 365 days at any place in the world. This is the Umlingla Pass, 19,024, as marked by the Guinness Book of World Records. And today in the morning, I was seeing someone from Canadian team had taken their auto rickshaw to this place. People have gone on cycle, on motorcycle, and Urus also has gone there. So everyone is going to this highest road. And today we are not stopping here. We are going much ahead of this. We are making a road from Likaru, Migla, Fukche. Migla is 19,400 feet. So you see, BRO has been growing very well. And I thank a lot of people for this, all the ex-DGs who have laid the strong foundation, both my defense secretaries who supported me like anything. Means it was a lot of freedom was given to me. It doesn't happen like that. My team and General Khandare, who has in both his appointments, he has listened to my problems, and through NSA and later on in MOD, he has been able to sort out a lot of issues. Shri Shingla, with whom I interacted very extensively in the foreign ministry, and who was monitoring the projects in Bhutan and Tajikistan. So a lot of people, I can't even name both the CTSs, General Bipin Rawat, late General Bipin Rawat. He was the one who always appreciated the work which is being done. And above all, Honorable Raksha Mantri, he appreciated our work. And most of the times, wherever he used to go, he's speaking in Navy, Air Force, Army, wherever, he used to make a mention of BRO. And people used to ask me, आप कहीं भी जाते हैं वो BRO की बात करते हैं. So all these things added to the morale boosting. He in fact called BRO as bro of not only security forces or not only people who reside in remote villages, but bro of the nation. So that is a big statement to make. And today, when we make a road, this road does not make a security matrix stronger. It connects hundreds of villages all along. In fact, road is the backbone of all the development. This region all along the Himalayas have been neglected grossly by the previous government. I must make a categorical statement because of regressive thinking. And by the present government, they paid a lot of focus on this. And there was a huge, when I took over, there was a huge road head differential with the adversary China all along the LSE, which we were able to bridge that gap, especially in the critical points. And it gave extra confidence the security forces to reach at the point of conflict, wherever it occurred. If you see the pattern, as Mr. Pradeep also mentioned, in 2017, it was Doklam. In 2020, 15 June, it was Galwan. And on 9 December 2022, it was Yangtze. So there was a pattern everywhere that they touched and seek responses. So next time it may be, I'm not a crystal gazer, but in the central sector. So we have worked relentlessly all along the border, and especially in Eastern Ladakh and Arunachal, in Sikkim, to strengthen the road network. I will go now ahead to tell you what work BRO has done during last few years. And whatever we do, we make a road, we make a bridge, it adds to the nation building. All these remote villages which are not connected to the mainstream, they were not even getting access because there's no communication towers. What we talk about the money getting transferred to their account, there's no account, there's no bank. The people are living, actually, there's no civil administration at places. And we were where we were all the government. They, for any interpersonal fights, they will come to us. For any other problem, they will come to us. So there was nothing. So these villages, when they get connected, which were treated like a buffer zone by the previous government, these people started getting the benefit of the central schemes of the government. That was a major nation building initiative. What BRO has been silently working, means BRO was never in limelight. People didn't know. When I joined, people didn't know about the BRO. In fact, my neighborhood in the place where I worked in the headquarters in Delhi, they didn't know which building it is. But we gradually started making it visible of all these unsung heroes who have been laying down their life. Just to tell you some figures, every year we used to lose 120 people from my cadre, working in this remote and harsh conditions and very, very difficult terrains, which was not known to the people. So we worked to firstly preserve those lives. We made life comfortable for them also, which I'll be talking about. But we made the work visible. That was my major concern, because I felt littled, or I felt guilty that people are working day, night. They are laying down their lives against the challenge of not adversary, but the climate was the adversary, the terrain was the adversary, and it was every day's affair. It is not on a particular time when the conflict occurs. It was every day's work where people go for adventure. We are working, we are deployed there. So there has been a lot of nation building in past 64 years. BRO has come to a place where we can feel proud of its achievements, which I'll be talking. In fact, last 3.5 years, we have been able to create 9 world records, which was not there earlier. We are breaking our own records in tunneling, in bridging, in road construction, in airfields. And in the end, I would be touching upon how BRO can be a major nation tool to progress or further the military diplomacy. And I will talk about certain dividends, what BRO has been able to give, direct and indirect, and certain recommendation, how it can be taken ahead and how it can be made more responsible or given more added responsibilities in its work. It was raised on 7th May 1960 with just 2 projects, one taking care of J&K and one of Arunachal Pradesh, Beacon and Vartak. Today it has grown to 18 projects, and it is deployed in 11 states, 3 UTs and 1 friendly foreign countries project, Dantak, since 1961 in Bhutan. The bridge you see on top left is Shok Bridge at 12,200 feet. This was inaugurated by Honorable Raksha Mantri on 28th October 2022. He himself went there. This is the first village on that LAC. And this bridge was not coming up for years, actually. Why? If you see on this side, or home bank, if you call, there's a pier at 30 meters from the abutment. This pier and working season is only summers there, because the temperature fall to minus 25-30 degree. And this pier was not coming up. So we decided that we will work in the winters when the water is very less in Shok. And incidentally, during the last 2-3 weeks, we lost 5 brave men of army in Shok River only, because it gets flooded during summers. So we created this pillar during the winters. People were wearing special gloves, because if you touch any steel, your hands get stuck to that and your skin comes off. And of course, the temperatures are so low. So this bridge was possible, and we could make this long impending bridge on Shok River. And the building which is seen on the top, bottom left, this is 3D printed building. This building is being made as air dispatch cell in Chandigarh, which feeds all our machinery, material, men to Ladakh. And this building very soon going to get completed. This will be the largest 3D printed building complex in the world. So you see, we are not only making roads or other infrastructure, we get into marine structures for Indian Coast Guard and building works for ourselves and other agencies also. PRO has been complying all the government directives. We have worked very relentlessly on Atmanirbhar Bharat, where we signed a MOU with GRSE to fabricate double lane class 70 modular bridges, which are very easy to launch. It takes only 7 to 10 days. So these bridges are 60 of such bridges have been ordered. 30 have already been completed at critical locations. GEM, Commodore Balbir Munjal is sitting there in the audience, and he has been one who has supported me like anything to make sure that 100% procurement of BRO is being done through GEM. And I will also make a mention here, Mr. Taleen Singh, who was the CEO of GEM earlier, and later Mr. Prashant, who supported us like anything through Commodore Balbir Munjal, and we were awarded both gold certificate for timely payments and silver certificate for order value in 2 years. And gold certificate for timely payments means 90% of the payments of the firms and the contractors were made in 9 days. I have not been able to get the name who was the first IFA and first CDA of integrated CDA of Border Road. She will understand this and any other people who are working with contracts. So paying 90% of the payments in 9 days, it is never heard. It used to take 1 year, 1.5 years in some cases. So there were very less arbitration cases in BRO. Because of this, what we have been able to achieve in last 3.5 years. Waste to wealth. Honorable Prime Minister has been talking about converting waste to wealth. India is the second largest steel producer in the world with 125 million tons being produced. And out of this, 15 to 16% is steel slag, which is a waste. It's a byproduct, so it can't be used for any constructive purpose. So we, in collaboration with CRRI, we tested that this is stronger than the crushing strength of steel slag is stronger than the normal aggregate. And we used in one of the roads where Tata Jamshedpur gave us one full rake free of cost in Arunachal Pradesh. And also wherever now we are working, we write a MOU with all those villages and towns to give their complete plastic waste. And we shred it into the desired micron size and use it in the construction of road. It makes roads impervious and also stronger than the conventional roads. Employment generation, BRO generates approximately 90,000 direct jobs for the CPLs who work for us, and also indirect jobs where we work. A lot of trade starts happening. So that is another good work what BRO is doing towards the nation building. Nari Sashактikaran, Mr. Pradeep mentioned. When I joined, I found the women officers were there in BRO, but they are not given command appointments, thinking that they will not be able to perform in those tough areas, because 80% of our job is in high altitude or remote places where people shied away to place women. So they were put in staff duties. I said no. On 8th March 2021, just within 3 months of my taking over, I decided that women will be placed in the most difficult command appointments, and I talked to them. It's not that it was a unilateral decision to promote that gender neutral approach. And we created a all women RCC in People Koti, which was taking care of the second highest pass, Mana Pass also, and all the road leading to that. And subsequently, when I got that confidence that they will be able to meet our aspiration and expectations, we placed 2 colonel rank officers in most difficult places, one in Zero in Arunachal Pradesh and other one in Hanle. Hanle, we created a task force. In fact, that is the highest task force in the world taking care of any construction activity. Colonel Doming, she comes from Arunachal and very dedicated officer, and we placed 2 more officers in the headquarters to make it a all-women task force and lower appointments also. So that was a major initiative which was appreciated, and women also lived up to the expectations, and they are doing well. So it is opening the door for more women to join BRO. Reverse migration, it was touched upon by Mr. Pradeep. And it was also spoken to by Honorable President of India in the joint session of the Parliament. He spoke in a detailed this thing about BRO, what it is doing, and he mentioned about 3 places as a symbolic thing where reverse migration has started after the roads coming up there. In Demchok, in Ladakh, Jolingkong in Uttarakhand, where Rang community stays, and they used to come down to Kanakpur, basically in search of better jobs or opportunities. And Huri I'll talk about later. It's a great human life story, actually, how it happened, reverse migration in that hamlet. And digitization and automation. Today, when I'm speaking to you, it is only the BRO, which is a construction agency or government department, which has put all its roads on GIS. And I will give a lot of credit and acknowledge the drive by ex-Defense Secretary Dr. Ajay Kumar, who pushed this thing like anything with BISAC. And today we can understand the lat long of any point on our road through GIS. And all our roads have been put on Gati Shakti portal, where all 16 ministries can thereof plan their schemes in conjunction with the connectivity which is there, where they want to take their communication or education or health or water or electricity or tourism or aviation, for anything for that matter. So that is a major thing what BRO has been able to do towards the nation building. Now, this slide is the essence of all what we have been able to achieve post Galwan. If you see this slide, I have placed 2 dotted vertical lines at specific places. The first dotted vertical line from the left is placed after 2013 and 14, not because here the government changed. No, please. Here a major decision was taken because previous to this, BRO had 2 masters. It was placed under MORTH, but working for MOD. And that was not a good arrangement to, sanctioning authorities, someone else, and we are making road for army. So there were a lot of coordination required, which was not happening as desired. So Honorable Raksha Mantri, then late Manohar Parrikar ji, took a very revolutionary decision, and he placed BRO under MOD. So that was the inflection point where things started looking up. And thereafter, you see the second line is Galwan. When Galwan happened, yes, it was graph was growing and it was looking up. Previous to that also, but it was, I felt more was desired, more was supposed to be done. So if you see post Galwan in last 4 years, we have been able to spend 45,000 crores, which is more than 9 years pre-Galwan period what BRO consumed. So it is a different kind of a success story what happened, where more focus went on to the border infrastructure, and more money was given. Of course, as Mr. Pradeep also mentioned, I used to fight like anything with the finance, additional finance secretary and the finance people to give us more. They said, no, you consume 70% of the budget by September, which was very difficult. But then I said, no, I will do that. And I started consuming 70% of the budget. In this case, it is very difficult. It is nothing we are procuring off the shelf. It is a process of contract. It is a process of mobilization of the resources, and execution starts thereafter. But then we decided, no, we will do it. And we did it. So our budget of GS, that is Army, increased from 2,500 when I took. It went up to 3,500, 5,000, 6,500. And other budgets also, MORTH, and we work for 5 ministries actually. We work for MORTH, we work for MEA, we work for MHA, for ITBP, and Assam Rifle Roads, and donor ministry, and some of the state governments like Ladakh gave us projects on nomination basis. So this was a success story, and on top left you see that shows within 10 years or so our budget consumption become double actually, and that is a very remarkable achievement by BR. Now how it translated in the construction side. This was the budget consumption, but the people said कि हाँ budget तो consume कर लिया, but आपने किया क्या ground पे? That was not understood कि जब budget consume होता है तो कुछ तो ground पे भी आ रहा है ना. So surge in construction happened in roads. If you see, it went up from 809 to 10, 11, and in just in 3 years, we were able to make 3,033 kilometers, which a few years back, it was 600 kilometers per year. It went up to 100 kilometers per year. It was a remarkable jump. And if you see in the bridge construction, it has tripled of 2015. And now if you see 3,652 meter per year we are making. So 10,900 or 11,000 meters have been constructed in the last 3 years. Now you come to tunnels. As Mr. Pradeep mentioned, in last 60 years pre-Galwan period, there were only 2 tunnels made. And when I took over, I wanted to go in a big way in tunneling, because tunneling also shortens the route from A to B. It prevents vehicles going over a pass and coming down, which cuts down in the time as well as the accidents. It also cuts down the carbon footprint, and it also cuts down in cutting of the trees. So it is a environmental protection initiative, which I took a lot of time to convince people to give some money for tunneling, because people said, "Isme bahut paisa lagta hai." I said, no, it is initial investment will be slightly more than the normal road, but then in the long time, it will be more beneficial. Cost effective analysis was done and made to understand of various stakeholders, and they started giving money for the tunnel. So in last 3 years, we have made 4 tunnels, and 10 tunnels have under construction in the final stages of completion, and 12 tunnels are in the planning stage. These are the 6 tunnels what BRO has made. And now these are the surge in tunnel construction. On the left hand side, you see 10 tunnels under construction. First 4 tunnels are coming up on Aknoor-Punch highway, which we are making, Sungal, Naushera, Bhimbargali and Kandi. And the 5th one is cut and cover tunnel, which we are making first time in the country using lithely arch new technology on DSDBO road. And then Shinkulla. Shinkulla will start in another 2 months or so. Shinkulla tunnel is going to be highest tunnel in the world when completed. It will break the record of Mila of China, and it is placed at 15,855 feet. It will connect 36 villages of Danskar, which are not connected to the mainland, and 137 villages of Lahaul Spiti. That is nation building. Then departmental tunnel. Now we have been hiring the contractors and the firms to make our tunnels. And then I said, no, we make roads departmentally, we make bridges departmentally, but why not tunnels? So it was understood that machinery is very costly and the technology is new, and we had to understand. So that's why I opened that Center of Excellence for Road, Bridges, Tunnels and airfields. And we started a tunnel departmentally on Sela Road, and that is near completion now. Because in certain conditions, tough conditions, normal contractors or firms will not be able to go and work. And certain places, we don't want them to work because of the confidentiality of the projects, what we are doing in forward areas. So this capability had to be addressed, and we addressed this. Talia-Nacho Road, which is a part of the Arunachal Frontier Highway, which has been sanctioned by the government last year. There we are making 2 tunnels departmentally. Hapoli-Sarli-Huri Road, also we are making a tunnel. I'll be speaking about this road later. Under planning, now out of 12, I just placed 8, and out of 8, 6 are in blue color. Now these all tunnels are higher than 15,000 feet, or maybe higher than Mont Blanc, which is the highest peak in the Alps. Why am I making this comparison? When I joined and I attended one of the World Tunnel Conference, and people used to say Alps is very difficult and Alps is this and Alps is that, and we are making tunnels there. Alps is the most stable mountains in the world, most stable mountain ranges. It's easy to tunnel Alps, then to come and do tunneling in Himalayas, which are the most youngest mountains and most fragile mountains. You know what happened in Silkyar, what was being, 41 people got trapped. So we are going to make tunnels which is higher than the highest peak of Alps, Mont Blanc. And one tunnel will be coming up at 18,600 feet at Kela. So this is the challenge what BRO is taking on, and we used to look westward earlier for any technology, any achievement or prowess. today world is looking at India. World is looking at BRO and how we are doing our tunneling in these mountains. So this is the nation building. It is bringing nation at the global platform. Airfields, we have made 21 airfields, including 2 very recently, which were dedicated to the nation, Bagdogra and Barakpur, by Honorable Raksha Mantri on 12 September 23. And we started the work on Neoma. Neoma, ladies and gentlemen, is placed at 14,700 feet. Now, this is going to be the closest airfield to the LC or LAC, LAC specifically. It is only 35 to 40 kilometers as the crow flies from LAC, and this will support all kind of fighter aircrafts of Indian Air Force. And this will give a major strategic extension to the Indian Air Force into the enemy territory, and also to the army to facilitate the projection of force wherever at the point of decision when it is required. So Neoma is going to be a major achievement, and Neoma airfield was started last year on 11th August. And next year we'll be able to complete in just 2 years. And the work is going on very fast. We are working day, night, and in all difficult conditions. You understand, it takes 3 to 4 years in some places, 5 to 6 years in the plains to make an airfield, but we are going to finish in 2 years. Certain works of strategic importance I'll touch upon, which have been bone of contention for years. These were not getting completed, but we put a lot of focus on all the pending projects first, and which are of strategic importance post Galwan, which was required actually. They got neglected due to some processes or some decisions or some lack of machinery, lack of permissions to hire machinery, and all that was not very good to happen. Sasoma, Sasirla, Sasir, Brangda, Morgo Road. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this road is basically to give an alternative connectivity to DBO. And this road goes over Sasirla Pass, which is at 17,700 feet, goes to Sasir Brangza over Shok and goes to Gapshan. Now, this basically obviates the enemy looking directly onto the movement of troops when we have to infuse any major force to DBO or to take care of Karakoram Pass and region thereof. So this road was also pending for a long time. We put 2,000 people at Sasir Brangza to ensure the connectivity between Sasir Brangza and Gapshan of 46 kilometers in one season. And a lot of machines were pushed there. So this connectivity has been achieved, and black topping will be finished by this year. So this road is of immense strategic and operational value to the Indian Army in that eastern Ladakh. Now, this is the map. On the right-hand side, if you see, there is a black colored road shown from Leh, Darbuk to DBO. And we have created a road from Sasirla, Sasir Brangza to Gapshan, which is shorter route from that side, and also it will be hidden by the Ladakh ranges. It is on the western shadow of Ladakh ranges, runs parallel to Shok River to facilitate movement of our people. And this is the connectivity achieved at Gapshan last year on 15th October. Sasir Brangza Bridge. Now, this is a wonderful bridge what the BRO made last year. This bridge is the highest multi-span bridge in the world at 14,900 feet. There are 7 piers, and each pier having 49 piles. So 343 micro piles were constructed during this 174 days, and the bridge was constructed. You please understand this. This bridge was desired due to the strategic issues, as eyeball to eyeball contact has been there for last 4 years between China and India on the LAC. So this was very critical to us, and we contracted this bridge on 27th March. On mobilization happened 30th April, the work started, and 20th October 23, in within 174 days, the bridge was completed. It has never been done this way, because we had to put a lot of machinery, a lot of steel, cement, and a whole lot of other construction material and people. At 15,000 feet, I had to put a lot of doctors there, because when you work in those places, it is not existence, it is working. It is tiring, and you feel exhaustion, you nose start bleeding, and whole lot of other physical problem occur. So we had to be very careful and also make a balance between the mission oriented work what we did at Saser Brangza. Neoma, I have spoken. I'll not take much time on this. It is going very fast. Now, when I visited forward areas and went over Changla. Changla is one of the highest passes before Umlingla was constructed. And I found when the snow clearance happened, the upper crust of the road gets damaged every time because of the dozer blades and other machine what are operated there. So we thought we must replace, do something different. And we took a decision to put ILCB, that is interlocking concrete blocks, on Changla, 6 kilometer on each side of the pass. 12-kilometer road has been constructed. And thereafter, I took a decision that on all 27 passes where we maintain for snow clearance all along Himalayas, we will put this ILCB, and that job has been completed now on all. So to prevent that extra cost which used to be incurred on repair of the roads when they get damaged, and time. So that has been obviated by using ILCB, and each ILCB has got a crushing strength of 50 tons. We call it M50. In fact, that is the average. Generally, when we tested randomly, it went up to M60 or M70 also. So this can take on any tank or any artillery or any other armament or any multi-axle loaded trucks over this. Chuchul Dungti Phukche Demchok. This is again very important. This road was being lingered because of fund issues and all that, thought to be not very important. But post Galwan, the importance of this region increased, and we had actually connected all these points and more points like Hot Spring, Galwan, and other places. But literally they were not connected. So we decided to make this road. Army projected this on 3rd January 23. The work was sanctioned because this was in my powers. On 24th January, work commenced 2 days later on 26th January, and work was completed in October, will be completed in October 24. This will connect Chuchul to Dungti, Phukche, and Demchok, and this run parallel to the LSE at places 10 to 12 kilometers or so. Goes along Indus River. So this is strategically very important for the Kumar sector. Basically, if we want to push any troops laterally at the point of conflict or point of skirmish when it happens, it can be done now easily. NPD road. Now this road also was happening for last 20 years or so, and we got stuck at a place, Nirak Chilling, that is 30 kilometer of stretch, which was a sheer vertical cliff, and it was very difficult to cut a C section for 30 kilometers. And this road was divided between 2 chief engineers. One portion was looked after by one chief engineer, and another portion was. So I created a chief engineer, a task force was moved to Padam, and a whole lot of other RCCs and supporting units, and put it under one command and control. And this road start happening. Today this road is connected, and Shinkula is coming on this road. Now the importance of this road. We have got presently 2 access to Leh. One is through Srinagar, Dras, Kargil, and Leh, which can be interfered in times by Pakistan at places like Dras and other places where it is closer to LC. And the eastern axis runs the later portion when it crosses 3 passes, Barlakla, Lachungla, and Tangangla, by China. So there has to be a safer access to push troops and armaments to Ladakh in case required in any conflict situation. So this NPD road, Nimu Padam Darcha road, was chosen, but work was slow. So we have connected this now, and Shinkula will be coming. All weather connectivity will be provided to the central axis. This is the shortest axis, and a lot of it will also support the tourism. It is only not connecting the security forces post and facilitating security forces, but it will also facilitate the tourism to Janskar Valley, where people come for chadar trek and other sports, winter sports. This is the kind of work what we did in NPD road between Chilling and Nirak. It's a continuous C section for 30 kilometers. All those people who have gone there and understand this kind of work, what BRO does now, creating a road in mountains and plains cannot be compared and should not be compared, because initially when I joined this, at देखो वहाँ पर कितनी तेज चल रहा है, NHI road इतने किलोमीटर बना रहा है. Now we must understand, in plains it is very easy to have a diversion decided कि यहाँ से दूसरी गाड़ियाँ चली जाएंगी. There is only one axis, and most of the roads in mountains are greenfield roads. They are not on some earlier existing roads. Most of the roads where the differential was there, and we are much behind China, there was all greenfield alignment. We had to do alignments, survey, DPRs, and then make the roads. And on the road, when we are constructing, the locals are moving, the tourists are moving, the security forces are moving, and we have to be giving them pass. Otherwise, some accident happens, then it becomes difficult for us. So I decided no. In the daytime, definitely these people, it's a democracy. So they require a passage, we have to give them. So we started working on some of the roads in the night time. I put 2 shifts. I said daytime mein jitna kaam hota hai, usse zyada kaam night mein hoga. And it was, and people were with me, means they understood the importance of this infrastructure, what was being created for nation building and security forces. And we accelerated the work of these roads. And this is one of the best example of constructing in the night. If you see, we purchased light pillars for this stretch, and we used to work in the night on this road. It's very, very tough and very risky. When you go later on, when this road is connected, you will realize how difficult it would have been to cut this road. Shinkunla, I have spoken. This is going to be 2-lane, 4.10 kilometer road, and connected both the tubes being connected at 500 meters each. And I must say here, make a mention, as per the international as well as national standards and the norms and the policies, wherever we make tunnel more than 1.5 kilometer, it has to have an escape tunnel. We found in Silkyara what happened. So we cannot do away with the escape tunnel. We have to have 2 tubes. In this case, both the tubes are alternating, like they work escape tunnel for each other. And it is going to be placed at 15,855 feet and going to join Janskar with Lahore Spiti. Sumna, now I come to the central sector, because central sector, I will not say neglected, but then major focus has been on Ladakh and Arunachal and Sikkim all along. But central sector maybe is going to be something happening in central sector in future, if China, as it is so unpredictable in its moves. So we tackled a lot of roads. I'm just showing 1 or 2 roads here. Sumna Lathal Topidunga is one of the forwardmost roads, which is very critical to us. And we put a lot of Air Marshal Gokhale will understand, and if Air Marshal Bahadur is also there, then anyone from Air Force will understand. Chinooks have brought revolution in road construction at difficult places where we had to create multiple attack points. We dismantled our tippers, we dismantled our dozers and excavators, and took through Chinook either inside or underslung, and it really helped us. And in this case also we did that. And you can see the terrain where our machines are working and how people are making roads in these areas. Gunji Kuti Jolingkong. Now on the right hand side, if you see, this is a mountain. It is Adi Kailash. This is one of the 5 Kailash, Panch Kailash bolte hain unko. Usme se dusre number pe hai Kailash Parvat ke baad mein. Here Lord Shiva and Parvati ji stayed initially after their marriage, and a lot of testing was done here and all that. But then Lord Shiva took a decision to go and settle down finally at Mount Kailash and Mansarovar. It's a replica of Mount Kailash. Why I'm telling you about this? Because since COVID and later on Galwan happened, the route to Mansarovar has been stopped by China. And Shraddhalu who believe in these things and the power of the God and Lord Shiva, they want to go. So this was opened, and we had to create a road from Gunji to Kutti to Jolingkong. Jolingkong is the place where this Adi Kailash is there. There's a Parvati Kund there. And Honorable Prime Minister went on 10th October 23 to have darshan, to encourage people to come there. Now there's a rush of tourists to Adi Kailash. This road is completed. and it helps people in a lot of other adventure and tourist activities also. Now, this is on the other side of Gunji is the hub of two major tourism axis in Kumaon region. One takes to Jolingkong and Adi Kailash, and other takes to Mount Kailash and Lipu Lake firstly. So since Mount Kailash is that thing is closed as of now, so government has decided that people will be able to go up to Lipu Lake, which is on our side, and have a darshan of Mount Kailash. That will start on 15th September this year. So this road also is with BRO, and we have done the connectivity up to Lipu Lake Pass now. So people used to walk earlier, and it was a treacherous route. Now can go on a vehicle up to Lipu Lake from Dharchula. Munshari, Bugdyar, Milam. Milam is glacier, and at the base of the glacier there is a Milam village, and the post is there. ITBP is deployed there. And we again used Chinook to create multiple attack points, and 5 attack points we created. This road has not been going very well, and we had to create 5 detachments, air maintained detachments, to make. Today the connectivity has been made, and maybe very soon blacktopping will be completed. So this is again a very strategically, this is part of the ICBR 1 roads. I'm talking about ICBR 1 roads which were pending and now been completed. Balipara Chardwar Tawang. This takes us from Balipara to Tawang sector, and anytime now Shinkula has also, Sela has also come, which was inaugurated on 9th March 24 by Honorable Prime Minister. So it will facilitate any, if any situation arises in Tawang sector, to put our troops. This is all-weather connectivity now in the place of conflict. LGG Damteng Yangtze. Yangtze happened on 9 December 22, and we finished this road before that, so we could put our troops immediately at Yangtze and control the situation. It didn't flare up the way it flared up in Galwan. So because of the roads, Army got access to the most farthest post where it used to be going on walking or other means. So now everywhere the vehicles can go. TCC Taxing. Again, Taxing was one of the posts where people used to walk from TCC. When battalion used to get turned over at Taxing, they used to walk. But we completed this road 2 years back, and the first battalion, when it gets turned over, that went on vehicles. Earlier, they used to take 3 days on and carry their own loads to reach Taxing. And another place is Maza. Maza is most of the forwardmost post opposite LAC, which has also been connected by BRO. This is Maza. There's a small helipad there, and a lot of machinery again was placed through Chinook to create attack points from the other side also to accelerate this road. Now, this is very interesting thing what BRO did. Huri is a hamlet which had a population of 200. And since independence, it was being maintained by a Air Force helicopter. Every week it used to go put some vegetables, other supplies, groceries, medicines and all that. And people were surviving without any connectivity since last 75 years. So BRO did a remarkable thing. And this village was not connected to its Tehsil Damin as well as district headquarters Kume. This was one of the rarest villages. So we made this bridge on the left-hand bottom side, you see, and made this road of 278 kilometers, which was commended none other than by Honorable Prime Minister. And how it changed the lives of the people there. When this road was connected, wherever the road used to get connected, I used to travel and meet the people, locals, and understand their sensibilities and their impressions, what is happening. So I asked them, now the people who had left, the 200 population had dwindled to 49. After this road was constructed and completed, the population increased to 300. People returned because everyone loves their homes and land. And there is a primary school has opened by the civil administration. Civil administration was not there. There's no communication tower. There's nothing. It was cut off. And primary health center has come. So I asked them, the Gaon Buda how it has changed the life of people here. He said, not only the population has increased, in my lifetime, he said, in my lifetime, I had seen the helicopter, but I had never seen the vehicle. So the vehicles are coming and people are seeing vehicles who have not been able to get the opportunity to go down by walking or other means. So now we are making a road to Tapa, which is ahead of this hamlet. So the life is changing. Reverse migration is happening, and it's a process which is not known to the general public. It's all along the border. If you, I went to Lamang, Geling, all these places, I met the locals. Now the schools are opening, even colleges are opening in most forward places in Arunachal. So the life is changing, and it's a major nation building activity what BRO is doing through the infrastructure what it is making on the forward locations. And now when the roads are coming up, that is good. But then I said there should not be any accidents on our roads. So we are the first department to do complete structural audit of its bridges, 1,000 odd bridges and 18,000 kilometers of road, which we maintain after construction. And we found black spots where accidents can happen. And we pushed a lot of money. Second year of my being there, we put 500 crores plus, and third year we put 1,000 crores. So all the black spots have been removed now. Our endeavor, and we are putting crash barriers, we are putting delineators, we are putting markers as per the international standards, and we are trying to make all these roads zero fatality corridor. Because of the road geometrics, nothing will happen. But if a driver mistake is there, then of course accident happen. But then most of the cases in the mountains, it is the road geometrics also contributes to the accidents. So that is happening in BRO now. And we don't only take care of the land borders. We are working in Andaman and Nicobar, the southernmost tip at the 8-degree channel in the Great Nicobar Island. We have connected Shastri Nagar to Lakshmi Nagar, the southernmost panchayat of the country. And it has changed the lives of those people who are totally cut off from the civilization. And this place is Galatia, where we have made a causeway, and now the bridge has started. And Galatia is the place where major transshipment port is coming up. The government has already announced because of the strategic reasons and economic reasons. Chinese vessels have been seen in last 1.5 years very extensively surveying these areas. So to deter that and to put more security forces there, the better connectivity, this place is being connected very fast. Zojila is one pass in the world where maximum snow precipitation happens, 40 to 50 feet at places. And Zojila used to get closed for 160 to 180 days, sometime in October, and used to be opened in May and also. So people of Ladakh, not only the troops I'll talk later, people of Ladakh used to get cut off from the mainland, and they were like in open jail. They can't go for any medical treatment outside until they can afford air bridge or for education purpose or for anything else. So this really made major change in their lives. When I took over, I decided this pass will be closed for the very little time. So we took this calculated risk. We kept it open on first year, 31st December, and opened in April instead of May. 110 days it was closed. Next year it was brought down to 73, 68, and this year it was 67. So on an average, as a conservative thumb calculation, we can take it that pass will be closed for 80 days, let's say, or 80 or 90 days. But still we are saving those 80, 90 days when the pass is opened as compared to earlier times. So it gives strategic extension and reach to the security forces if it is required. The formation are required to be pushed into Ladakh on the through the road route. So and during the winters also. So that has helped in a greater manner, and we kept 6 passes open throughout the winters. Now we are keeping them open throughout the winters out of 27 passes what we maintain. And it incurs approximately 7 crores per day to maintain forces in Ladakh. So we have been able to save 500 crores or so of government exchequer just in one working season on one pass by keeping it closed for the least period. Now, in 2022, during Shri Amarnath Ji Yatra, there was an accident where we lost life of civilians. 30 to 40 people got lost their lives in the flash flood of Nala. So, decision was taken by J&K government, and they requested the central government to give this task of maintaining both the routes of Pahalgam as well as Baltal to BRO. Now, generally, we don't do as per our mandate this kind of task, but then since it required, there are approximately 5 to 6 lakhs people who go to Shri Amarnath Ji darshan every year. So we took on this task, and we also gave a rider. I gave a rider. We give you give the road from Anantnag to Pahalgam to Baltal, which will be strategically important. It will also facilitate the people who visit Baba Amarnath. So that has been the last week government has agreed to that proposal, and that will be made by BRO. That will add to ease of darshan by people of Baba Amarnath Ji cave, because there are some people who say before death I must visit this cave or any other place of worship, and most of them die also because of heart problems or because of age. But then people have got their belief system there, so it will make it easier for the Shraddhalus. We made a lot of rain sheds. We erected on Baltal. This is Baltal route. Baltal route के ऊपर पोनी को चलने में दिक्कत आती थी. Now the vehicle can go up to Sangam or shorter of Sangam actually. Now I've spoken. Shri Pradeep also has spoken. Nothing much to be. A lot of transparency. We started procuring everything on GEM, where Commodore Munjal helped us in understanding how it works, because we are novice in this field. And we became pioneer for other services. Actually, we started procuring our equipment, our plant, our vehicles on GEM, and hereafter Navy followed this, and then of course Army. So we were the front runners in procurement, and we are the first government department to procure cement and steel on GEM. There are a lot of resistance even from PSUs. Who said, "Ki nahi, aap MEU kar lo, aur hum aapko de denge." I said, "No, you come on GEM, and we will procure from GEM." So a lot of streamlining has been done with the help of CEO of GEM and the military advisor there. And we have been able to save approximately 15 to 16% of government money, which has been replowed into the projects what we are doing there. And they were kind enough to give me this opportunity, GEM, to speak to the delegates of G20 on the sidelines in a seminar which was organized by GEM, about the transparency, about the inclusivity and efficiency, how it increased in BRO using GEM, and corruption also. There's no corruption possible if everything is done on GEM, procurement, the payment. So it will minimize. Of course, people are there with fertile mind. They will invent something more. But then gradually, the GEM is also one step or two steps ahead of preventing that kind of a thing happening by plugging all the loopholes. And today we are saving a lot of money, means people know about it. And in the end, Honorable Minister Shri Piyush Goyal ji gave a special award to BRO for making it transparent in public procurement landscape. Digitization, it has happened in a big way. A lot of softwares have been created using BISAC. BISAC has Mr. TP Singh. I must make a mention here. He's one of the selfless persons who helped us like anything. The software, when we are making through private firms, before I joined, we was paying crores, and it was taking 3 years, 4 years. He made it free of cost in 3 months. So we made 11 software through them, and it is basically to monitor, supervise our progress of works, as well as on the human resource related issues. So it is working very well, and it has enhanced our efficiency, increased our output, and also made things easier. New technology. This is one class 70 double lane bridge of similar specification, if imported from foreign countries, cost 3 times more than this bridge, what is being manufactured by GRSC now. So this is a major thing, and I must make a mention here of Commodore Hari Kumar, who is the managing director of GRSC. He has been absolutely forthcoming in understanding our issues and helping us and 30 bridges have already been constructed. In fact, today, this is a 140 span, free span bridge. We are doing NCNC trial with GRSC and other firms also of creating 200 feet span bridges in the forwardmost post. And we took a decision, I took a decision that a road is a road which can take on class 9, if you understand class 9, class 12, class 18, 24, can take on tank or artillery or multi-axle vehicles, but a bridge cannot take of lower specification. So we took a decision that all our bridges hereafter will be class 70, the ultimate classification. So because many a time what used to happen, civilian trucks are going multi-axle trucks on our Bailey bridges or other bridges, they used to damage our bridges. Our bridges to collapse, which are class 18, or they don't understand, neither they follow the instructions. So we said we will make bridge to obviate this, and a road can be upgraded later. Today, a road is class 40. Tomorrow, it can be upgraded to class 70. So all our bridges hereafter are class 70. Other new technologies is a big list. We have inducted or infused approximately 20 new technologies to accelerate the work, to prevent the deterioration or damage to the environment, and to save cost and increase the quality. I will just show some photographs. Basically, a slope stabilization today is included in the DPR of the road. Earlier, what was happening, the road is being made and something happens, the landslide happens or avalanche happens, the road gets damaged, and we again incur so much of expenditure. Today, the slopes are which are presumed that they can create landslides are being included in the DPR. So these are being made along the road. That will save a lot of money, effort, and deterioration to the environment which is happening in the mountains. And other things, I'll not go into details. They're technical matters. If anyone is interested later on, I can respond to that. So any kind of technology which is available in the world, we are the pioneers of using it in DR. I will now 3D printed buildings are, it's not my core competence, but I said no. We must, if it is required, we are making a building, why not make it through 3D printed building? This project, which will take 3 years, it will get completed in 10 months and it will be better quality. The machine for 3D printing, which was used in this building, which is coming up at Chandigarh, is the largest machine. It can create 3-storied buildings, which is not anywhere in the world, this kind of a machine. And we are working carbon neutral habitat in Hanle. Micropiling, as told you, in Sasir Brangza bridge we have used, and white topping. Plastic I have already mentioned to you. Steel slag I have already mentioned to you. Now, cut and fit technology. This is a, I'll say, this is the most revolutionary step which I could force upon my department, because there are a lot of resistance whenever any change is suggested or imposed. Firstly, most of our people in the government departments, I'm making this statement, are status quoist. They want to be comfortable. Jaise chal raha hai waise chalne do, aapko kya dikkat hai? I said no. Because in the east we get only a window 4 to 5 months to construct roads or do formation cutting or black topping. It rains so heavily. I said we are losing time. In eastern projects, our progress was slow. I said we should make devise something where road can be made during the rainy season also. So we said we will precast all the components of the road, starting from your pavement, your drains, your breast wall, retaining wall, culvert, everything, and then just join. Joining does not make any difference in it is done in dry season or rainy season. And precast cables, they join it, and it comes very beautifully. Means this culvert which you are seeing on the left bottom, this is saving, each culvert is saving 10 lakh rupees from the conventional culverts which are being made, which is to take 3 months by manual labor. This is just a precasted thing which can be made for the western projects in Chandigarh and for eastern projects in Guwahati or any other place of choosing. And just taken there, it also reduces the carbon footprint, because these roads will not require the classical black topping and the heating of bitumen and all that. So it is going to be a major, it is a faster construction, parallel activities are happening, telescoping of activity, better quality, all weather construction, all that carbon neutral. And for a kilometer, if we are making 1,000 kilometers of road per year, we are saving 520. This is a very conservative calculation what we have done. 520 crores in 10,000 crores. So you see 5% of the cost is only being used using one particular type of technology in the construction of the roads. Equipment management, we've infused a lot of equipment, new generation plants and everything, and monitoring the road inventory dynamically. Wherever the critical activity is happening, we used to shift equipment from one place to another, which was not happening earlier. Once you induct a machine, it is very difficult to retract. So we use these Chinook helicopters and air means to retract the machines which are there in eastern side, which are lying idle to NPT road to accelerate the work there. So this is being done very well. And we have gone in detailed interaction with the industry, because industry makes what is required in the plains. Industry never understood the requirement of the mountains, never was interested, because the pie was very small. We don't procure huge number of machines, but then since the road construction activity is increasing, the bridges, tunnels, so they started looking at us, and we had multiple interactions through seminars or structured interactions, where Tata Hitachi, this is the longest boom excavator, 23.5 meter, 65-ton excavator, which has been created primarily for BRO, for specific use of clearing the drains, DCBs on the western sector. Road safety, I have told that we have done all kind of structural audit of our roads, and we have infused a lot of funds to remove all the black spots. We are marking our roads at the international standard. We are putting crash barriers. If you go to Ladakh today, people say on Twitter, this is better than an expressway. The speeds are 120, 140 kilometers. Why don't you make road in Bangalore? Why don't you make road in Bombay? So all that kind of responses are there by the people who travel to Ladakh. In any natural calamity, wherever it happens, we are the first responder, because all along the Himalayan ranges, at every 15 to 20 kilometers, there is a BRO detachment working or maintaining the road. And this is one example I'm giving you. In Sikkim last year, there was an avalanche where people got trapped, and we could save a lot of lives and take out the rescued stranded people. And again, in last year, in October, there were flash floods in Sikkim due to Glof. And a whole lot of bridges and roads got washed away. 16 bridges got washed away. 20 kilometers of road got washed away. Security forces were cut off totally. And a lot of 2,500 tourists got cut off on the western side. And it happened in Chungthang town. So BRO worked day and night, and after 6 months, all kind of connectivity has been done, and normalcy has been restored. So at the point, I will take it ahead that BRO, since by virtue of their presence is the first responder to any calamity, NDRF, SDRF teams take a lot of time to reach, and sometimes are not able to reach because there are multiple landslides along the road. They are not able to reach. They come in vehicles. So it should be in an institutionalized manner. BRO should be made part of the disaster management schemes, where they can contribute to the nation building in a more smoother manner. Dignity and social security of the CP. We hire approximately 70 to 80,000 or 90,000 CPLs for our works. And this on the left hand side, when I visited my locations, this was the kind of accommodation they used to stay. These are basically the bitumen barrels cut, straightened, and made some kind of a hut where they used to cover by CGI sheets and all that. And that was not a very good way of living. Even human dignity has to be honored. So I took a decision, no tin shed hereafter. And we provided them the best of the accommodation, which I was giving to my cadre. Even better than that, actually, centrally heated at places where the cold climate or super high altitudes are there. And this kind of accommodation has come up all along the today. If you travel earlier, इसको देख के बोलते थे अच्छा हाँ यहाँ BRO की detachment होगी. Today you will find this kind of accommodation all on the roads where BRO is working, and this kind of centrally heated tents where our snow clearance teams are working in isolation. Now they used to be working, when I met them, in wind cheater, in chappals. They're poor people. Most of them, actually 70% of these people come from Dumka, Jharkhand. Very poor people. don't demand anything, very satisfied, contented people. And they used to be working, and it used to agitate me inside what we are doing to this. And we took a decision, though it was not neither mandated, not my responsibility, but then we said through whatever funds possible, we will buy all the protective clothing, ECC clothing, and give it to them. Now this kind of equipment is being given to all my laborers which are working for BRO. We have got 3 telemedicine centers. As I told you, we lose a lot of lives because of harsh weather conditions, climate conditions. We have opened 3 telemedicine centers with the help of ISRO, which were inaugurated by Honorable Raksha Mantri last year on 3rd January 23 at various places, which is going to be augmented very soon. And with request to Raksha Mantri, he also sanctioned rupees 10 lakh insurance term benefit to these people who lose their lives, and also transferring or conveying the mortal remains of those people to the native places. Earlier it was done by contributing some money and it was taken by air, but now today in a proper manner to the government policy, this has been made possible, and all other welfare activities happen. Now I told you women empowerment, I have told you this, I will not dwell upon. 9 world records have been created in last few years. This is the highest road in the world. Now vision, ours is the only government department which has created a vision 2047 for Amrit Kal. Now Honorable Prime Minister is looking towards next 25 years, when 100 years are completed on 2047, where we will be as a nation, as a ministry, or as a department. So we are the only one who have been able to create this kind of a document in a scientific manner. What kind of technology we'll be using, what kind of machine you should be using, what kind of roads and bridges and tunnels we should be making where. And this has been appreciated by the ministry. And to facilitate this, we have put 50 technical problems to IDEX in a structured manner. In fact, to that effect, we have also demanded a LEO satellite to monitor all our works all throughout the ranges. Because today we have to travel, the chief engineer has to travel, or task force there's a gap in information. Sometimes people on the ground just say, "Haan, ban gaya, complete ho gaya," and we mark it completed. But today we can monitor this with the help of the communications and the niche technology which is coming in. We'll be physically, dynamically monitoring all the work what we're doing in this higher reaches. Now I'll come to security calculus. In a geopolitical strategic scenario where security is becoming very important and the economic prowess of a nation, there are different leverages what we use to deal with our neighbors and other nations, superpowers in a group or in any conglomeration. Now, the source of power leverage today can be infrastructure, especially with China. Earlier, we were sitting much behind. I'll not say how many kilometers behind, because we did a study, comprehensive study, what was the road head differential with China on the LSE. I'll not speak about that. But today, we have been able to bridge that comprehensive in a considerable manner. So we are on a strong footing today, and we can use this infrastructure matrix which has been strengthened as a power leverage to deal with China. And it has really rattled China that how in last 3.5, 4 years, we have been able to reach all the critical posts where they were bang on the LSE and we are much behind, where we couldn't influence any activity happening there in a shorter time frame. So BRO, we recommend that it can be used as a source of power leverage, and it can be used as a dynamic bridgehead for regional and international economic collaboration. In regional, wherever our immediate neighbors are there, Nepal, Bhutan, we are already there, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, we are losing Maldives now. We have to reduce the presence, I'll not say reduce, we have to offset the presence of China. A road is being made from Kathmandu to Madhesi in Nepal under the influence of China. Out of 8 sections, this is a 4-lane road where 86 bridges are there, 6 tunnels are there, 72 kilometers. China has taken 5 sections because of whatever, I'll not go into that detail. So I said, why don't we bid in as a BRO, there are no profit margins for BRO. We are not taking any profit. We are a government organization. So we create a BRO Videsh wing as it is there for ONGC, as it is there for IRCON or BSNL, for any other government department. And we take in this bidding process and take this work and be there as a footprint of the nation there. And it can be translated in many more ways. So this is one of the recommendations. Fusion doctrine. When we talk about fusion doctrine, it's a security, economic influence, cyberspace. So I'm not talking about cyber and space. I'm talking about three facets where India is now on a high wave, especially in Asian region. So BRO can become a major instrument in this fusion doctrine to make the comprehension national power through the whole of India approach. BRO is one of the major agency where government should look up to BRO and utilize all the power what it has got in achieving the doctrinal ends, as we do all kind of activities. In Burma, they are making Kaladhan project, so that can be taken. Would have been taken by BRO, or road to, or bridges on Kaleva Road. All that can be taken to enhance the regional influence in Southeast Asian countries. BRO has been working in Bhutan. We have made the Paro airfields, a lot of government buildings, road networks. Myanmar, we made Tamu Kaleva Road. Afghanistan, during the heat of problem in 2004 to 2008, we made Delaram Zarang Road. That road is intact today also without any maintenance. That is the best road in Afghanistan till today when we get some kind of informal inputs from there. And Tajikistan, we have made the Aini Air Base starting from Airstrip, the boundary wall, road network, and also 8-lane bypass from Disanbe to Kyo. These are some of the dividends. Generation of local jobs, I have already spoken. Local industry, direct and indirect. We support the industry and the trade. Atmanirbhar Bharat, we are working. We have taken a decision. We are not going to import any machine now. So all that, we are putting pressure on the Indian industry to manufacture what we are getting imported earlier. So that is happening. Vibrant Village program was launched by Honorable Home Minister on 10th of April last year from TB2, the first village on the eastern side. And that in the phase 1, 662 villages will be coming up. It's got an allocation of 4,800 crore rupees. Out of that, 2,500 crore rupees is only for the roads. So now BRO can undertake those roads which are happening next to its detachments. It will be able to contribute in a positive and faster manner to make this program a reality. So that is one of the proposals and a dividend which can happen. Gati Shakti integrator. Now there are 16 ministries working on Gati Shakti portal. To integrate all that activity of schemes, there has to be some agency. Now it is being done presently by Ministry of Home Affairs. But then we can become the agency which can integrate, because road is the basic infrastructure development backbone. And we are the only department in the government which makes a 5-year plan. We can put that 5-year plan on that, where the ministries can plan as per the road existing or being planned their schemes in a better manner. This I have spoken. I'll not tell you too much. I come to my last slide. Now we have reached somewhere after a lot of hard work, struggle, jostling, whatever you can say. But still there are a lot of space which has to be extended by taking positive steps, which I firstly recommend financial reforms. Still our financial limits of the powers, as Mr. Pradeep said, that has been increased. Yes, that has been increased, but it is not keeping in step with the economy, how it is growing. Today we have grown from 11th economy to 5th economy. We are thinking of 3rd economy very soon. But then our powers are not increasing in consonance with the economy, how it is growing. So that has to increase. So I can sanction a road worth costing 5,500 or 1,000 crore. Why we have to go to ministry or why we have to go to CCS for that? Second, simplification of processes. There are a lot of processes. Today we are creating road in 1 year or 2 years. We are working in the winters, but it takes some time. The planning, the sanctioning process takes 1.5, 2 years. So it is killing. It is escalating the cost, original cost of the road. The more you delay the execution, more the cost increases. DGBR is the only appointment in the complete government departments which has, as a DG, has not been given the HOD status, because there is a BRDB, Border Road Development Board, which is controlled by a joint secretary level officer. He is the de facto secretary, where earlier the chairman was supposed to be Prime Minister, then Raksha Mantri. Today the chairman of BRDB is Raksha Rajya Mantri. And BRDB had its last meeting on 2017. Thereafter, it has not met. So it's a defunct organization within that structure. It should be abolished. The control of HR is being controlled largely by the Ministry of Defense, by joint secretary level. Now, DGBR is responsible for the execution, but he can't be controlling a lot of things which we propose through my department. It comes to me, and then again the file goes to the section officer, then deputy director, and all that. Now, that is not a very good thing to happen. There are 2 power centers which get created, which also demoralizes the cadre of Border Road. It should be one man who is responsible for execution. You shoot all the questions, all the responsibilities to him. But then if there are 2 power centers, it really derails the whole process of sanctioning the HR issues and all. It should come under one person, the DG, as it is happening in all other departments. BRO Act. We have got a mixed cadre. There is a GREF cadre. There is a Army cadre. Army cadre is controlled by Army rules and Army Act. GREF cadre is controlled by CCS and DOPT rules. Now, it creates a mismatch in case of their allowances, in case of their perks, privileges, in case of their punishments, punitive actions to be taken. It creates a confusing situation to deal with this kind of a thing. As all other departments, your CISF, your BSF, CRPF, Assam Rifle, which is again a mixed cadre, they have got their acts. But BRO has not got its act. We had, before retirement, I had proposed a comprehensive BRO act to the ministry. I request through whatever channels they work, it should be impressed upon the ministry to pass this act through the parliament as soon as possible. This will empower the DG better. The HOD status will come. He can accelerate the work. What has been accelerated through sheer, I'll say, bull power, it can happen in a more institutionalized manner. Easing out of bureaucratic control. Now, bureaucracy should deal with the policy making and monitoring that policy is being followed or not in totality. But more than that, it should not interfere in routine works, which is happening today. So it should ease out. Modernization of equipment. If I have to buy some equipment which is not there on my peace establishment, there are a whole lot of justifications we have to give. The equipment is required tomorrow. It will take 2 years to come. I proposed a 4x4 ambulance. When I went to the forward places, ambulance were 4x2. They're not able to climb the mountains where casualties happened. I said, how we'll save the life? I came back. I said, कि हमें 4x4 वो दे दो ambulance. Minister said नहीं है, आपको authorized नहीं है ये. I said, authorized नहीं है तो authorized करवाइए आप. इसमें कौन सा बड़ी बात मांग रहे हैं? Now this is frustration. With a lot of difficulty, after 2 years, files going up, down, this, that happening. Now, I used to get my work done as I'm doing my private job, my private work. Now, that should not happen in a government setup. So modernization equipment should happen as per under the powers of the DG and the R&D. Today, R&D is a very slow and sluggish process. We must make R&D robust in BRO, so the infusion of new technology can happen faster. So that is my one of the recommendation. Some of the recommendation beyond the execution. One border, one agency. By the group of ministers after Kargil report, the decision was taken that one border, one force. Similar manner, I'll say today in same domain, We are working, NHA, DCL is working, CPWD is working, state PWD is working, and people don't know which road is being made by which agency. That is not a good thing. One road in Sikkim is being made by all 4 agencies, and that road is not happening because one agency is working, one agency which wants to work, it can't take its raw material machines upwards because we have got the most highest reach. So we must have all the land borders. It in some way it has been sanctioned by cabinet secretary, but it has, I think, not been implemented in letter and spirit, that on northern borders all the work will be done by BRO, because that is critical to us. NHA DCL, which is the one of the agencies of MORTH, can be given the coastal roads, can be given the red corridor, can be given the hinterland, wherever difficult roads are there. So there is a clear-cut demarcation of your workspace. BIMA, Border Infrastructure Management Agency, should be there. Today, there's no coordination, there's no proper collaboration between a lot of agencies which work on border. Though border management cell is there in MHA, but then it has got its limitations. So BIMA should be created where it can control all kind of infrastructure, not only roads, but communication, water, electricity. Roads of EVP should come to us. First responder have spoken. Greater role. BRO can play a greater role in education, medical, and skill development. As a informal manner, we open some schools of nursery, KG for children of our CPLs. But it can happen. BRO can undertake in the remote places education, medical facilities. We run some camps on regular basis for the people there. But then it can be institutionalized. Skill development. People don't know how to operate machines. The state can open skill development centers, and we can be part of that initiative where we can train those people there. Sustainable all construction. Now I am also, I profess that any infrastructure development should not damage the environment. So all kind of construction, there should be balance. It should be sustainable. It should have all the measures which is being taken from the word go. So nothing happens to the existing environment. And BRO with this. That is last. Thank you very much. This is the Siom Bridge, which is a arch bridge, first time made on Siom River, which was inaugurated by Honorable Raksha Mantri on 3rd January 23. This is 100-meter bridge, one of the, again, engineering marvel to make a bridge over that gap. It was a tough task for us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I have finished. I will respond to any query, observation, questions, anything what you would like to say.
Deep, can I initiate, if you don't mind? I have to go somewhere. It's a little delayed. Yes, that's why I'll just take a couple of minutes.
So, Mr. Dadu was secretary to government, and he was from the UT cadre, IS. Kindly ask the question, sir.
First of all, let me introduce myself. I am 1983 batch Agmut cadre. I was Deputy Commissioner, Lower Subansiri District, about which you mentioned both Zero and Hapoli. I'll come to that later. I worked for 7 years in the Ministry of Defense, 3.5 years in India, and 3.5 years as Counselor Coordination in the Indian Embassy in Moscow. I have a fair idea of defense, and I must congratulate General Chaudhry for his excellent exposition, wonderful work done in all areas that he's outlined. I'm extremely appreciative of the work that you've done, and would like to place on record that this kind of achievement should get the requisite government recognition. I also want to appreciate the work done by Pradeep Gupta, my old colleague in the Ministry of Defense, who later became PS to the President and then GS Border Roads Organization. I have 4 suggestions to make and 3 corrections, General Chaudhry, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir, please, sir.
Number 1, my experience of working in Arunachal Pradesh for 3 years and visiting Bhutan and Sikkim over a period of time indicates that the maintenance of the roads is a very big problem, especially because of the torrential rains that come, the landslides that are caused, the avalanches and all that. And therefore, you have not dwelt on the maintenance of the road issue. I'm sure you were doing a great job, but I just thought I'll mention that.
Should I respond now or later?
Let me just complete the 4 questions.
Okay.
Second thing I wanted to suggest was that in Arunachal, I've seen when I was the Deputy Commissioner of Lower Subansiri, we had 10 taluks or circles as they were called, and 4 circles didn't have a road. Damin, Tarli, Sarli, and Kloryang. Now, Kloryang has a road, Damin has a road, Sarli, you've made the road now, and Damin, Tali, Sarli, Tali, I don't know whether it still has a road. So the only state in the country which still doesn't have roads to its circle headquarters was Arunachal in 1988-89 when I was the DC. I don't know what is the situation. So maybe if you can update us on all the circle headquarters in the country in the border areas where there is no road still. Third point that I wanted to make was I found that in Arunachal, long roads were being made when shortcuts were possible. And no assessment had been done whether a shortcut is possible because of aerial reconnaissance and surveillance, which was not possible at that time. So therefore, that is something which I'd like to suggest if it's possible, because it will save a lot of time, effort, and money. My last point on my last suggestion is about signages, which I found were in great shortage in Sikkim and Bhutan. If you had to travel from anywhere to anywhere, there were no signages, and you had to stop your car and find out where to go. So I think if Border Roads is doing excellent work in these areas, signages would be very, very important. I fully agree with your suggestion that you should be made a part of disaster management. I'm surprised it's not been done. PMO directly deals with disaster management, and you should be a very important part of the national NDRF, National Disaster Management Force. Now, 3 corrections that I'd like to make, Gen Chaudhry, for your consideration is, number 1, I was at 0, and the then Lieutenant Colonel of Border Roads Organization, you mentioned work has been done only the last 10 years. I'd like to mention that he was an outstanding engineer. I forget his name, Lieutenant Colonel. He used to deal with me every day. And he had done excellent work in Lower Subansiri district for Border Road Organization. So I must put on record that Border Roads Organization is an old organization which has done wonderful work. And what you've done in the last 3 years is exemplary. There's no doubt about that. The second thing I'd like to mention is that you've mentioned that there was no civil administration in Sarli. Now, that's not correct. Even in 88, 89, there was a circle officer in Sarli. And the Hapoli to Sarli road that you made is an excellent initiative. It was very difficult. I had to take a helicopter, the food dropping helicopter in these 4 non-road circles whenever I had to go there. And this road from Hapoli to Sarli will be a tremendous booster to both tourism and economic development of that area. But there is a circle officer in Sarli. That's the point I wanted to mention. And the third thing I wanted to make as a correction was that this 2047 vision that you mentioned about border roads, if you look at the Viksit Bharat document, this 2047 vision has been now made for all departments, not only for border roads. And therefore, while how much will be done is a matter of contention, and you've done a lot, and I'm sure border roads would take the lead there. But the point is that there are other departments also which are doing this. Thank you very much. I listened to you with a lot of attention, and if you permit, I will write an article in Business World on what you've said after taking the slides from Mr. Pradeep Gupta. Thank you very much.
Definitely, sir. Since you are leaving, and I'll take very short time and respond to you. Firstly, maintenance of roads, sir. We have made approximately 63,000 kilometers of road since inception, but today we are maintaining only 18,000 kilometers of road.
That's the point. Yes.
I'll come on this. Any road we make, most of the road, apart from the critically strategic roads which are there, we maintain. Rest it is handed over to the state departments, PWD. Now, this was very seriously looked at by PMO, Mr. Tarun Kapoor had called me 2-3 times. He said कि इसको आप क्यों नहीं कर सकते? मैंने कहा मैं कर सकता हूँ, but to reduce that revenue budget of BRO, this is handed over, and to their dismay, actually he visited Mizoram and Arunachal himself. He said कि roads ऐसी हैं कि वहां पर रोड ही नहीं है, बिकॉज उसको मेंटेन ही नहीं कर रहे हैं. सॉरी टू से, उसको मेंटेन नहीं किया जा रहा है जिसको भी हमने हैंड ओवर किया है. सो दैट इज वन पॉइंट आई वांट टू टेल यू. नाउ यू टॉक्ड अबाउट तलिया. सर, तलिया नाचो इज नाउ पार्ट ऑफ द Arunachal Frontier Highway, and we are connecting all this frontier across the valley through 1800 kilometer of Arunachal Frontier Highway. So that will, all the connectivity will come to that also. Then you mentioned about short roads. Sir, earlier what used to happen in the dense forest of Arunachal, वो map से वो alignment कर देते थे और वो जहाँ पर contour से जाती थी उसको बनाते थे. Absolutely. Today we are not doing that, sir. Today we are using drones and lidar survey mechanism to decide our alignment, and also thereafter confirming it through land recce. So things have changed drastically as far as the making of the DPRs goes. Okay. Then signages. Signages also, I understand where you're traveling on a road, no one there to guide you. Today we have got gantries and other means to guide people which road is going where, how many kilometers, all that is happening. Now coming to your correction, sir, Huri. I didn't talk about the other places. Huri did not have civil administration. Gunji did not have civil administration because there was no connectivity. So there people used to look up to us. It was not in a negative sense, but it was in a manner because civil administration can only reach if the connectivity is there. Yes. So that is the point I was trying to make. Now 2004-07, I didn't say we are the only department. We are the only department to make it first. Now, of course, people have followed under the pressure of the government. When Viksit Bharat came up, we made this document much before Viksit Bharat also came. So I'm trying to highlight that point. I'm not trying to take larger credit for anything. But I'm just mentioning it. That was my point. Thank you so much for your observation and whatever, with your rich experience serving in Subansiri and other places in Arunachal and in the foreign land also. So I take that with a very positive thing. We are improving, sir. We are improving, but it has to be collaborative effort. It has to be means the passion has to be on all the all the stakeholders. That is missing. I'm making a very candid statement, but then that is how I feel today. I can say my mind with in a more freer manner, but it has to be, if India has to go ahead or surge ahead, it has to be all whole India approach. That's what I want.
Thank you very much. I entirely agree with you. Pradeep, if you permit, I'll leave now.
Yes, I'll share with you the presentation and the YouTube as soon as it's ready. And I'll look forward for your article, and we can also discuss with General Saab. I'll give it
before I send it to Business World, I'll send it to you. You can have a look at it, show it to General Chaudhry, and then we'll send it.
Yes, sir. It is wonderful.
I'll write in about 10 days.
And MHA has also requested us indirectly through some retired IPS officers that they would like to have recommendations. So I'll share with them, distribute to the put before the people there. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the audience. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Any other question? There are some hand raised. I think Sarang and Sangeeta.
Yes, Pradeep.
Yes, sir. Actually.
Sorry, Sarangji, I think you are coordinating. Do that.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, Satish Godbole sir had raised his hand, but I think he has left the call. Apart from that, there are a few comments and questions by Balabhadra sir. Sir, would you be able to unmute your mic and present your comments, sir?
Hello, Rajiv Bulli here.
Hello, sir.
Firstly, I would like to comment on your presentation and what you told us. But 2-3 things which came to my mind is, like you said, a lot of things are being done in the ministry. There are at times hold-ups and clearances. What should be done more, apart from what you said, should be done to hasten a project before you can take off? I remember your airfield ALG in forward area, what your Neoma you were talking about. It was held up for 2 years just for one decision. So how do you actually prevent these things Why are people skeptical to ensure that we do nation building? Their contribution is equally important. By not clearing, they're not contributing to nation building. How do we go about that?
So NEOMA actually was a contentious issue where the hierarchy wanted to give it to MES, but MES did not have any footprint in NEOMA. MES had a chief engineer sitting in Udhampur. So I said, how MES will handle? MES is not able to make the airfields in the planes. How they will create a establishment there? How we are sitting in Hanle, we are sitting in NEOMA, we are sitting in Leh. So it took a lot of discussions, and thereafter it was given to BRO. But as a conception, initially in 2008, this was conceived to be given to BRO. But later, with Indian Air Force and CDS, they had a lot of deliberations. They wanted to give it to MES, but then I will not discuss those issues. So once it was, in fact, Air Marshal Bulli Krishna was the one who pushed me to undertake the DPR, because Bulli and me are postmates. So he said कि तुम इसको बना नहीं रहे हो. मैंने कहा आप मेरे को आप जब तक nominate नहीं करोगे मैं कैसे बनाऊंगा इसको. So these are departmental issues which need lot of deliberation. 2 साल उसको हमने ऐसी waste कर दिया उसको करने के लिए. हम तो तैयार थे उसको बनाने के लिए तुरंत सर. That is the point I want to make.
Thank you, Rajeev.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Otherwise, then I'll wrap up. Yes, Picture Venture Production. I think you wanted to ask a question. And you can unmute yourself.
Good morning, sir. I'm Brigadier Bhender. I'm retired. I had the opportunity to serve in the Border Road Organization.
Very nice, sir.
And under the dynamic leadership of Gen Rajeev Chaudhry. Sir, you have covered all the aspects, sir. I will come to the specifics. My query on the BRO Videsh.
Sir, आपका नाम नहीं पता चला मुझे. सर, आप अपना नाम दोबारा बताएंगे?
I am Brigadier Birender Singh.
अरे Birender, अच्छा. Birender, very nice. बताओ Birender.
Sir, my query is, we have done a lot of efforts to project the border roads as an instrument of diplomacy to undertake certain assignment abroad, because we at the national level we have already made the mark. Our expertise in various fields, especially in the border road infrastructure, but we have not been able to project ourselves, getting the works across, beyond the borders. Earlier, we had done a lot of assignments. So, what is your take on? Are we stuck because of the, bureaucratic, hassles? Are the interests for a specific agency? Because I can be very blunt. Despite having that kind of expertise, which no other construction agencies, these all agencies, other which have come up, they are just the beginners. The NHI, DCL, the National Highway Authority of India, they may be good because there are all contractual things happening there. So what is your take on, sir? How can we, make a mark beyond the borders?
Very good question, Brigadier Birender, and I understand your contribution when you are serving with me towards this initiative. And it is still got entangled into some decision-making process at the ministry level. I want this to be taken very, in a cogent and aggressive manner, that BRO Videsh should be created where we have got a departmental capacity. No other department or agency has got a departmental capacity. So we can, our people, as they have worked in Bhutan or in Tajikistan or in Afghanistan. Earlier, we have made a road till Kaleva in Myanmar. So we can undertake this kind of projects like was happening in Nepal, in Myanmar, Kaladhan project. So we are best suited organization if we create a BRO Videsh wing in whatever form. But then that is not been happening for last 2-3 years. I have been trying. So through this, and I, as you say, blunt, means there's no question of being blunt. It is a truth which has to be spoken at some stage. If we have failed all our initiatives or all our exertions through other means, so now at least we must air our views, which is right and correct for the country's larger interest. So BRO Videsh, it's time for BRO Videsh to be raised in whatever form, and it should start taking the projects and bid for the projects in friendly foreign countries or any other country for that matter, globally.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brenda.
Any other questions? Otherwise, I'll just wrap up. It's already 2 hours.
Pradeep, I have a question, but before, if you permit.
Yes.
Okay, but before that, General Chaudhry, here is Dr. B.K. Saxena, Madam Vijaya Gupta, Palakshi Nelkar, Surya Daksha, Balbir Kumar Munjal, and Devin Kalra. Sorry, I don't know their like decoration, so I'm not able to, and apologies for that. But they have made wonderful, remarks on this chat box, appreciating your presentation. It has been so beautifully done, actually. A lot of information loaded with insights, and very impressive, sir, in terms of visually being very stunning. I mean, you shared lovely visuals, and emanating from that is my question, sir. I have been to, sir, DMZ, Korea.
अपना नाम बताएंगे मुझे?
Sir, I'm Sangeeta Goyal, and I'm.
अच्छा, okay, madam. Yes.
Yes.
मैं देख नहीं सकता ना, मुझे दिख नहीं रहा है, तो इसलिए.
अच्छा. तो सर इतनी ब्यूटीफुल आपने स्टनिंग नेचुरल बाउंटी पूरा जो दिखाया ना, तो person gets excited as to, oh, can we go there, can it be part of our border tourism, sir? Yes, so like you go to DMZ or like you go to Wagha. So sir, can you think of any one of or two of the places which could be developed as places of tourist interest?
Yes,
I mean, is it thinkable?
No, it is not thinkable. We have already done that, madam. Actually, we started this with a easy target. So Atal Tunnel was when it was made, the traffic through Atal Tunnel increased 600% in first working season. That was enormous, phenomenal actually. So we said we must facilitate people, because आज क्या है, दूसरे देशों में tunnel tourism has started as a major commercial activity. So we said tunnel is 9 kilometers long, first time being made in India, this kind of a transportation tunnel. So people want to see there, come there, see there, take a selfie. So we have developed that place, and we put a website where people can register, and we will facilitate their coming to tunnel and tell them some technical issues, or maybe their visit to the tunnel, to escape tunnel and everything. Thereafter, we wanted to do this to Umlingla, because Umlingla, whole lot of people want to come there. And we have made a oxygen cafe, first oxygen cafe in the country. वर्ल्ड में तो है, बट कंट्री में ऑक्सीजन कैफे नहीं थे, तो वहां पर ऑक्सीजन कमी हो जाती है, तो हमने ऑक्सीजन कैफे बनाया, दूसरा कैफे बनाया, सो लोगों को कुछ राहत मिल सके. And similarly, we have also made initiative to create 75 BRO cafes, out of which some have already come up on the BRO road, because earlier there's nothing, no facility available. You are traveling for miles and kilometers, nothing is there. So इस तरह की activities like religious tourism, चार धाम project जो हम कर रहे हैं, that is connecting all the religious places in Uttarakhand. We have made connectivity to Adi Kailash. So इस तरह की चीजें हो रही हैं in a governmental manner, but to make it in collaboration with the state and tourism department, that initiative also we took, but somehow it couldn't go much ahead. हमने अपनी पूरी कोशिश की जो हम कर सकते थे, तो इस तरह की चीजें हमने की हैं, और हमारी रोड से बहुत चीजें हो भी रही हैं ग्राउंड पे.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I think it's almost 2 hours plus ho gaya hai, and we close the session, but before that, I'd like to say a word of thanks to and conclude today's session. A lot of members have, because it's almost 2 hours, some have left, but still a lot of people are there. We are happy to note that the BRO has turned around this, General Chaudhry has turned around the BRO and literally transformed it, and it made it a very, very vibrant organization, right? For last 5 years. The progress in the road, bridges, tunnel, airfield is really commendable. And most important is because I had been in MEA, I had been in Home Affairs as well as Defense Ministry, and engaged with the Chinese in the working mechanism consultation coordination several times in India as well as in Beijing. We are now very confident. Our confidence will increase in engaging with the other side now, because infrastructure is a thing. Otherwise, our soldiers are the bravest in the world. If nothing is there, even if the assault rifle is not with them, they'll fight bare hands. This is the bottom line, and we are very confident. So if the infrastructure is there, they'll match, or rather will be far ahead. One Indian soldier will be for several equivalent to several the other side soldiers. What you have I know that and I can realize that the audience will also appreciate that you must be thinking that how precariously the equipments were positioned on the slopes of the hill, and how difficult it is to construct the road in the mountainous terrain and in the hostile climate. So just to sensitize people, this idea of this webinar came, and we have to carry forward this particular task always. What he has briefed about the Atmanirbhar Bharat, the modular bridges, very great thing. Being in Defense Ministry and dealt with GRSE, it is a very unique thing, making GRSE manufacture these things. His welfare activities for the CPL and telemedicine insurance is also good. One very good thing I noted that his the BRO's appreciation of using satellite technology. When I was in MHA as JS Border Management, we initiated, and the report was accepted by the then Home Minister, and the induction of space technology, because it just came to our mind in 2015-16 that, and we were actually monitoring the islands with the help of ISRO, that for the border infrastructure, we must use this space technology to monitor the construction and a lot of the other tasks for. It was almost 8 years ago, and I feel that must have been, a lot of progress must have been made. Low Earth orbit satellite is very good thing, and a lot of private agencies are also coming, and BRO must get separate budget for that. One heartening development is the reverse migration, what you told, and the long opening of the passes. One aspect about the DSDBO road, I'll say that that is the most critical northernmost point for us, which is in our control, overlooking the Karakoram Pass, where the China and the Pakistan corridors meet. And we are in very, very advantageous position in the DSDBO road. Multiple alignment, what is being done by BRO will sustain, and we'll be able to defend this particular point in any circumstances and in all circumstances, even if attacked by both sides. So this is the unique thing what BRO is trying to do, and in Leh also with multiple alignments. What he has strategic advantages is of course there. Certain things what he has requested is for the more financial powers, autonomy. Certainly, I feel that it should be taken note of it, and decision makers, if they are listening to this, or the YouTube will reach them, the increased autonomy is required, and the reduction in bureaucracy. That is the present government is focusing much on that. HOD status to DG BRO is overdue and must be given, we all say. Relook at the BRDB, what he has mentioned, must happen. The induction of modern equipment, of course. Research and development should go. One should at least explore what the suggestion General Saab has made about the separate BRO Act. At least it can be discussed in the decision makers levels. His idea of one border, one agency should also be discussed, but then that is to be explored, and a lot of other issues can also be deliberated. But more important is one road, one agency can be done, at least immediately. One road, one agency, where he has highlighted that there are 4 agencies working on the same road. So the road cannot be complete if one agency is faltering or maybe delayed somewhere because of its own administrative issues. So this is one. And the Border Infrastructure Management Agency, having dealt with the border management for so long, I feel it is very much required. the difficulties what we face in the higher reaches is quite unique, and one agency must look at it comprehensively. Green construction, of course, that is required because climate control is being done. So this is there, and I thank General Saab for sharing his, sparing his valuable time in sharing his thoughts with us, and also to the audience, Mr. Dadu, Mr. Bala, Brigadier Biren, General Matharu, who's there, and General Ashok, who was there, Admiral Ghormade, who's there with us, and they have been all pillars supporting us, Mr. Vinod Singh, who had been with us, and several more other dignitaries who had been part of this particular audience. Thank you very much, and the team SAPI also for supporting us in this particular presentation. Thank you. And if you have any other further questions, you can write it in the our website mailbox, so we'll take it up and reply to it. Yeah, Mr. Saxena has raised his hand. I would like Mr. Saxena to.
And Pradeep, Mr. VK Singh also raising hands for long.
Okay, kindly take it.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Gen Rajeev Chaudhry.
Good afternoon.
I happen to know Gen Chaudhry since last 37 years. I'm from Corps of Engineers, now a retired person and a professor for the PhD courses. One aspect he has told you about his ability and administration and execution. One very interesting aspect I wanted to highlight, he is a very good artist, and his cartoons, they are being published on Instagram every day. If you are connected with him, you can see. So I thought I must highlight this. And that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, sir.
Great. We'll bother him for this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank you. Mr. Vinod Singh, sir, Vinod Kaur, sir. I think he's not there.
Sir, can I say a line, if you permit?
And
Mr. Vinod Singh has typed his thing. I was in Ladakh in July and visited up to China border and Pangong Tso Lake. Roads by BRO are excellent. BRO budget should be increased 5 times and maintenance activity to be planned in detail. Yes, certainly this particular idea of yours and the suggestion will be made part of the recommendations, and we'll be following it up with the concerned authorities. Let us see that we can only share our thoughts and the outcome of this particular webinar. Thank you, sir. Thank you for.
Sir, can I just say?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, I also must thank all the people who have, out of their busy schedule, have connected and been there for last 2 hours or so, especially 2 gentlemen, what Dr. Sangeeta mentioned, Commodore Balbir Munjal and Mr. Deven Kalra. Both are my classmates from school time, actually. And I told them to connect, and they have honored that request. So I must thank them for this encouragement and listening to me for such a long time. And maybe since Balbir has really supported me in this initiative for procurement through GEM, I want to place on record that without his support and help, we couldn't have reached where we reached. So every person, wherever they have helped, I want to convey my sincerest gratitude through this interaction, that everyone mattered, and we went as a very cohesive team and could achieve what we could achieve. It was a teamwork. I want to thank all the Karam Yogis of BRO, past and present and future also, and BRO is doing a good job, and everyone is supporting today. The sentiments are absolutely towards the nation building and surging of India, and everyone wants to help in shortening and simplification of the processes. So that should be done in a greater manner. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for nice words. And I close this webinar. Thank you very much for coming and participating in this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, General Mataru, and everybody else. Thank you, General sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
Pradeep sir, thank you very much. And Sarang, Dr. Sangeeta, Alok, whoever has been there from SAPI. It is all because of your help we could have this kind of a interaction, and I could share my experience and views also and recommendations with a very large audience. I believe that you will know how many people connected. Thank you.